I felt like I was dying. And I said, why did I eat these things? This is the worst day of my life. So, hello. Today I would like to talk about my first mushroom trip, how it changed my life, how it changed my perception of the world, how it taught me so I can develop myself, grow. First of all, in 2019, I used to work in a marketing agency, and I remember it was the beginning of the pandemic, so the government sent everyone home, and I was working from home, but I got depressed. I really got depressed, and unfortunately I couldn't handle it, and I quit. So I decided, okay, I will do some, drugs. So I said, okay, because I heard about Steve Jobs did it, the Beatles did it, Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin. So I said, okay, that'll be fun. I always heard about these trips, spiritual. So I was like, okay, let's try it. I think I bought 4 grams. I used the lemon tech technique. Lemon tech is soaking the mushrooms in the lemonade, in lime juice or in orange juice, and that increases the effects. So I decided to do that. I soaked them for 20 minutes, and just after I consumed this medicine, this plant, my girlfriend Emerson, he video calls me, and I'm like, is it a good idea to respond? And I said, whatever, I will respond. So we were talking. She was at work. She was eating, this at that moment it was a thing, She would call me from work, and she would be eating, and I would be working from home, and then we started talking. And I told her, by the way, I just ate these magic mushrooms, and she didn't know what magic mushrooms were. She was like, mushrooms and what? Yeah, mushrooms. Yeah, I ate mushrooms last week. Yeah, and I was like, no, it's like magic mushrooms. And then she said, and she Googled them. And she said, what? Like, what's that? Is it true that it makes you see things? And I say, I don't know, I'm here. And I didn't feel the effects until I felt nausea. Suddenly I felt like, fuck, I need to, I said, like, Emerson, one second, I'm like, I want to go to the washroom. I went to the bathroom, and I wanted to puke. I said, when you are vomiting, I felt like I was dying. And I said, why did I eat these things? This is the worst day of my life. So I decided to puke them. So I put my fingers here, decided to puke. I couldn't. But when I did, after trying to puke, the trip started, and then I was in this world. I was in a different world. It was like my perceptions were, what you can hear right now, like 10 times. So I could hear kids playing outside my house from, 500 meters. I started hearing here a woman was singing to me, which I thought it was weird, but then later on I read that it might be Mother Earth, because when you take mushrooms, Mother Earth appears. You feel excited because you feel things in a different way. It's a different experience, you enter a different world. I'm not saying that personally, that doesn't make you feel good, like weed, for example, doesn't make you feel like relaxed. No, just you are in a different world, and your perceptions are 10 times increased, And I felt like, okay, this is a new thing. And I went to the video call to talk to Emerson, to my girlfriend, and I told her, wow, I can feel right now the things, and she told me, wow, what else? She asked me things, what you feel, and I said, I told her I can hear everything right now. I can hear, the fan, like, very well. I could hear my heartbeat. I could feel my lungs, even the movement of my tongue, the movement of my fingers, my hands, my blinking. When I blink, I could hear it. I could feel it. Not only hear it, but feel it in your body. It's like everything was connected. This is like every time I close my eyes, I travel to a different world. And in that world, it was like 20-30 minutes. And when I opened my eyes, it was like 2 seconds, 5 seconds. That's why I was like, I'm like, Emerson, I'm hearing you, but the time here is different. And then she was like, what the fuck, man? But anyways, something before she hangs up, something happened that really changed our relationship. And what moment I looked at her, and the mushrooms they called me out. They told me, hey man, remember when you had your first love? Yeah, she's having that experience now. And to me, it was like kind of a what? Like a realization, like, what the fuck? Like, that's true. And the mushrooms made me feel what she was feeling. Or maybe it was from my past memory when I had my first love. When you have your first love, if you ever had one. Like the first time you fall in love, the first day, the first week, it's a new feeling, right? And it's more like, it's like kind of you don't know what this is. This is a new thing, but a new person in your life for the first time, and you have all these, chemicals in your brain, in your body, and that thing, the mushrooms made me feel that. And I was like, wow, like, really made me feel more empathetic. I felt more empathy towards her. And it was beautiful because even though I was high as fuck, we had a really deep conversation that I don't remember. But I remember that was a really deep conversation because we talk a lot. To me, I feel like we talk like for 1 day, 2 days, but maybe I talk for her for, I don't know, half an hour or 1 hour. But it was funny because every time I opened my eyes, she was in the office. Then when I closed my eyes, opened my eyes, she was in on the street. Close my eyes, open my eyes, she was on the bus stop. So time runs different when you are in this different dimension or when you're on drugs. And really, I believe really helped us to improve our relationship because since that day we talk more and we open this door of deep conversations. When I say deep conversations, it's like talking about your fears, what's your fear about, this relationship, which is really important in our relationship. But sometimes you don't know, right? You don't talk about that very often, but I think once a week is normal to, now that I realize, that I remember, once a week is very important to talk about, to sit down with your partner and say, do you feel loved? Is anything you need that I'm not providing to you? Is there any fears that you have regarding the relationship? I think that was beautiful, a beautiful trip. After she hung up, I meditated. I started feeling my house. I don't know, touch my house, and I felt like pleasure talking my house. I don't know why. I talk everything, touching, the walls, touching the floor. It was like they said that when you do shrooms, you reset your brain, and it happened. I literally, it was like I am born again, and everything I feel is I feel that I'm touching this for the first time. And I saw insects as well. I saw a spider, and I felt connected to the spider. I felt that the spider is like me. It's not that I'm the spider, but we come from the same source. Then I saw through the window, and it was I saw the trees, and the trees were beautiful, and I felt the same, like everything is one. And they told me, the mushrooms told me, we all are one. That's why everyone, hippies that do these plants, these medicines, they say we all are one, because that's true. We all are, even from a scientific perspective, we are all energy. After that realization that we all are one, this is another thing that the mushrooms told me. Life is a video game. They told me life is a video game. You just have, your beliefs are the obstacles. But once it's like when I say mushrooms tell me something, they don't tell me with words, they tell me with ideas, maybe sometimes visuals. It's like different. Is that like telepathy? So I did so. Like I really digested that. It's like when you understand a topic 100% and you say, wow, now I know. It's like I knew the mushrooms told me, okay, they really told me that we all are one, and then this life is a video game. Beliefs are your obstacles. You just need to pass them. Anything is possible. Anything is fucking possible. Then I went to the basement. I used to live with my brother, and I went to the basement, and it was great because he was playing video games, and I had told him before that I was going to do mushrooms, and he turns and he said, I knew you would be here. And we had a deep conversation as well, and he told me about what he wanted in life. We talked about I remember I've asked him, I told him, forgive me if I was wrong sometimes, and he told me, this thing that you did, and I told him, forgive me if I was wrong, because I felt more empathic. My empathy had like increased a lot, so I was like, I love this guy. Like, who is this guy? Like, mushrooms make you more aware of introspection. You're more aware of everything, and makes you think you go deep in every thought. Then I saw him, and I said, like, I love this guy. He's my brother. We grew up like, why did I, because I did things that I really I'm not proud of. For example, when I was in college, I left him alone, and I left him for I think 1 year. I don't know, we used to live together, and then I used to work, and my friends told me to move with them, so I moved with them, and I started my journeys alone, living in a basement, then living with my friend, and then I think I left him, and I thought in that day after doing shrooms, I thought, how could I left him for 1 year if he's my blood, right? And I realized something really deep. I already left myself, because the thing that you do to other people, you are doing that to yourself as well. I'm not talking about karma, I'm talking about your reality. What you do, whatever you do to other people, you do to yourself. You are hard on yourself. You will be hard on other people. And I've seen this in so many people. And what's really funny is that you attract what you are. And I've always attracted, my employers, my friends, co-workers, people that are like me, because I'm hard on myself, very hard on myself. And that makes me, and because of that, I'm hard on other people. I'm really, I love pushing them to the extreme, when I want something to be done. And I realized that when I did mushrooms, I left him. And I left because I left myself. And I abandoned myself. Because I remember I wanted him to be better than me. I wanted him to be better, to improve. And I was treating him like I was treating myself. Because when I didn't accomplish something, I was beating myself up. And when he didn't accomplish something, I just abandoned him. And that hurt me. When I was doing mushroom, that hurt me. And I'm trying to process those feelings right now. I'm trying to process that. It's a guilt. I have a lot of guilt. And I know he's not with me right now. He left home. He moved with his girlfriend, which makes me happy, because he's growing. But I miss him at the same time. And now I regret that we couldn't do things. We couldn't do the things that we wanted to do, as brothers. Mushrooms made me realize that, and I told him, forgive me please for those things that I did. He said he forgave me, but I think I cannot forgive myself yet. Something I'm working. We had a deep conversation with him, and it was in the basement, and he told me he wanted to play guitar, and I gave him my guitar. I told him, this guitar is yours. He was learning to play, and I told him, you can learn to play like this way. Mushrooms is like your brain working 10 times better, faster. So whenever you have a question, you get the answer. So for example, he told me, how can I learn this thing in guitar, this riff? I told him, just go to the YouTube tutorial, slow down the video by 0.5 times, the slowest speed you have. Repeat that for many times until your brain catches the idea, and you do it without thinking. I didn't know, I was like, who came with this idea? That's a good idea, right? And yeah, that improved my relationship with my brother a lot. Like, it's like black and white. It's like he did mushrooms afterwards, like 6 months later, and it changed his life as well, but it helped us be more open to each other, to talk more, to be more empathic, and I really don't regret doing mushrooms. However, the next time I did mushrooms fucked me up for 1 year. I got depressed for 1 year. I stopped making music. It was really bad. It's a thing I will tell in my next video. Hopefully this helps someone, and well, this is my experience. I'm not promoting the use of these substances. I'm just telling my experience because it might change your life.